Welcome to the Stevia Show. It's the Stevia Show. Helping you expand on what you know. Throw in a meme of the week and a review of the screen. And to have a show that covers everything.
Hey, Team Stevia, and welcome to episode 106 of The Stevia Show.
A talk show podcast that covers pop culture, world news, local artistry, and everything in between.
As always, this is Steven.
And this is Lydia.
And we hope everybody enjoyed episode 105. It was a big, thick news day.
Big, thick news day.
Yeah, we had a lot of the Capitol rioting. It's just been, it was a bad week last week.
Yeah.
And this week really is kind of shaping to be up a little bit better.
It's better.
Yeah, it's
better.
Not as bad for sure.
Not as dramatic, I would say.
No, I wouldn't say so. But we do have some exciting news. So we do have a new sponsor with us today.
Mm-hmm.
So funding for the Stevia Show is brought to you in part by the following. Today's episode is brought to you by Bravado Wireless. Bravado Wireless is your go-to when it comes to all things connected. Whether it's a new phone, home internet, or smart accessories, Bravado Wireless has it all. Right now, you can get a Samsung A11, Samsung 20 FE, or iPhone 11 at half the cost. That's right, 50% off any of these phones throughout January. For more information, call your local Bravado Wireless store or head to bravadowireless.com. Again, that is bravadowireless.com.
As well as community members like you. Remember, you can support us on Anchor or Patreon for as little as 99 cents a month. Thank you.
Yes, you are welcome. So today, we do not have any guests with us.
No guests.
No guests. We thought Matt might have been on, but I think he had to go pickle some balls.
Yeah,
is that correct?
I think he just needed a break. He played pickleball with two different groups yesterday. I think he's just tired.
In two different cities too, or just
two different cities? Yeah,
what?
He went to Oklahoma City and basically in the morning, and then almost all afternoon. Like he got back probably at 3, and then he went and pickleballed in Tulsa at like 5:30.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't blame him.
So I think he's just a little. I think he's socialized out, honestly.
I think so too.
That's just a lot.
I would need to be recharged after all of
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
I mean, I worked 6 days in a row this
Ugh.
week with it being the second busiest time of the year for us.
Yep.
Behind August, of course.
Yes.
But then August is, oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Terrible.
But that's what I'm gonna do today is just like lay low, chill. Not
hang out,
not do anything.
Just
too
do
exciting.
good vibes all around.
Do some good vibe checks. Absolutely.
Yes.
And then the meme of the week for this week is through Mike Cambiano. I believe this is his second win.
Yes, Mike.
He did a really cool design of Bush's baked beans, correct?
Yeah.
He took that out and put Red Baron on there.
Yeah.
And then a picture of our moderator for the Discord and former intern, Blake Westerby.
Ah, yes, Blake.
Yes, and it says Blaked Beans. So it says Red Baron Blaked Beans. So I thought that was pretty funny.
It was funny.
But then Blake tweeted at Red Baron. He said, "Red Baron, I have an idea." And then Red Baron replied and said, "Are you saying there's more to life than pizza?" And he said, "No, not at all." And then JTag said, "Close one."
That was a close one.
That is a pretty close one.
It was a close one there, Blake.
Yeah.
You got to be careful.
And then do you have any media for us this week?
Yeah, so I kind of sucked. Like Steven said, we worked late a lot this week, and so I just didn't have Austin is attacking me.
He is.
So I didn't actually have time. I know that I'm supposed to watch WandaVision came out, so go watch that. I've actually heard mixed reviews about WandaVision. I heard it's a little weird, but Logan, my brother, said that it was great, so I think it'll just depend on what your expectation of it is. So I'm excited to watch WandaVision. And then Bridgerton is a new one that I keep hearing everything about.
Watched all of that.
Oh, did she? Yeah, that's what I hear is like if you watch it in one sitting, basically.
Yes.
So Bridgerton is on my list, and then I started Outlander, which I think I'm 6 seasons behind. So I'm just on episode 1 of that. I'm late to the crowd on Outlander, but so hopefully next week I'll have some reviews on some media, but this week I just have suggestions from what the world has told me to watch.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, but it has been a busy week in our defense.
Yes, it has.
Absolutely.
Next week will be after Tuesday.
Yes.
It will be way better after Tuesday.
We will for sure. And we will have a bonus episode for our producers out by Wednesday of this week, the 20th. So you can listen to that instead of the inauguration.
Yes.
Yeah, because obviously this is more important.
Yeah, 100%.
100% more important.
Yeah.
But speaking of even more important than that, we have some great local news. So,
we do.
Yeah, Lydia, what's up with there?
Yeah, so our pals, When the Clock Strikes, released a new song and music video, which was directed by Mike Cambiano, super excited last week. So it's called Connect the Dots, and it's streaming on all platforms. So make sure to check it out.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good.
I mean,
and I didn't even know. I guess I didn't realize that was a song before. Like, this is a cover.
Right, it is.
Because their version is just so good.
Right. I was actually fixing to say that. I was like, I know Newfound Glory isn't listening to this podcast.
No.
But if you are, no offense, Newfound Glory, you're a great band. But I do think When the Clock Strikes has the better
They did
version.
it better.
Yeah, and they
definitely did it better.
They also covered No Doubt's song Spiderwebs. Sorry,
Yep.
I'm not home right now. Yeah, and I like their version better than the original too. So
Yeah.
When the Clock Strikes is 2 for 2.
Well, and their version of Pokemon. Actually, the
it's
Pokemon
really
theme
good,
song
too.
is
Right.
better too. I was listening to that the other day too. So if you have not checked out our pals at When the Clock Strikes,
Right.
you have the hat on today.
Right, I do have the hat on today. Right.
So if you haven't checked them out, make sure you do that.
Yeah, for sure. They're a great band, and yeah, definitely check it out. Again, it's called Connect the Dots, and it's available on all streaming platforms. Be sure to check it out. I kind of repeated that, but it's worth it's worth saying twice though.
I was like, didn't I just say that?
Yeah, but it's worth saying twice because it's such a good song.
It is.
So you may have noticed the ad at the beginning of the episode with our pals in Bravado Wireless. If you want to do an ad for your local Oklahoma business, contact us. We haven't really done
We've never done it before.
ads, but that's because we haven't really reached out for ads because we want to be more, viewer supported
Right.
like we are. But we decided that if there's a local Oklahoma business that wants to, have advertisement spot on the podcast, we figured that's good for the community because you're learning about, not Raid Shadow Legends or what's the other one? Raycon earbuds. NordVPN.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, all the wireless, the computer. Yeah.
VPNs,
The
right.
VPNs.
Right. But
so if you're a local Oklahoma business,
right.
we will maybe give you a chance.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, we'll for sure talk.
We'll
to you.
talk about it.
We'll talk about it. Yes.
As long as you're not Walmart.
As long as you're not Walmart, right? And we do have these fabulous Bravado
mugs.
mugs.
Yeah,
Yes.
I forgot about that. Thanks,
Yeah.
Bravado.
Yeah, thank you, Bravado.
Appreciate that.
These are nice ceramic mugs.
These are nice. We can use these, especially when we do virtual.
Oh yes, we can be drinking our coffee out
Drinking
of it.
our coffee.
Absolutely.
Did you see my coffee mug I got the other day that changes? The color changes?
Yes, that's super cool.
It is so cool. So I've been wanting this mug for a long time, and Kayleigh actually bought it for me for our Secret Santa, but she didn't know I wanted it. So when I opened it, I freaked out because I was like, I've been looking for this mug forever. And it's so cool, guys. It was on my Instagram story, but when it has hot liquid in it, it starts with just blue and it's all the Disney characters. And then all of them turn into color Disney characters.
I know, yeah. I saw that on your Instagram
it's
story yesterday.
It's so cool, yes.
Yeah.
So I love a good mug. So thank you, Bravado.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that you really don't ever buy for yourself. Like I'm not.
Most of my mugs are gifts.
But they're great gifts because it's like
Always.
socks. I don't want to buy socks.
No.
But I love getting socks.
I
as a
love
gift.
it.
Like the socks I'm wearing now, my Joe Cool from Snoopy socks. It was a gift, but would I have gone and bought them? No.
Probably not.
Because socks are a lame thing to buy, but they're a great thing to receive.
Yeah, because you don't want to buy. Yeah, you don't want to spend money on socks. But yes, I agree. And mugs are just the same. Same with tumblers, mugs, tumblers, anything that you can use to drink a drink out of.
Right.
The best gifts.
Absolutely.
That's like my number one gift to give is like, okay, can I go find a cute tumbler or mug real quick? Because everybody appreciates those.
I mean, if it works, it works.
And blankets.
Oh, and blankets. Yeah.
Blankets are a good gift too.
Yeah. Have you used the one I got you yet?
Yes.
Okay,
I use it in my office.
Because it's like a poncho blanket.
Yes.
Okay.
And I freaking love it.
Okay, good.
It's very fuzzy and warm.
I had to consult Matt on the color.
Yes.
But so if you like the color, thank him, not
I
me.
do like the color.
So,
It's a good color. So
perfect.
So back to local news. Sorry, guys. According to KOTV, Governor Stitt has filed paperwork to run for re-election in 2022. He is one of two candidates as of now in the Republican primary. The other being Irvin Yen, a former state senator and doctor from Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
So Dr. Irvin Yen.
Dr. Irvin Yen, yes. And he's running against Kevin Stitt because he thinks, in my opinion, rightfully, that Kevin Stitt has not handled the pandemic well.
Yeah, and I think I would vote for a doctor.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If somebody over a mortgage businessman,
Yes.
Because we've had the day of prayer and fasting, which
I ate by 7:45 that day.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's symbolic. It's like so many Oklahomans have died from COVID, and we're not going to do anything really heavy about it, and then we're leaving it up to the cities, which is just stupid. But
yeah, I thoroughly believe that this pandemic is now almost a year old, I will say, and that I I think it's time to change our motto from like let the states handle it to this is, the government is taking this and this is what every state
Right.
has to do.
Yeah.
Because if we don't do that, then nothing is going to change.
Right, but states
Because
rights.
Kevin Stitt is going to let bars open till 2 a.m. still, and people can walk in and, it's like, oh, yeah, you walk in and have a mask on, but then as soon as you get there, you can take it off.
Right. Well, because you can't, you can't drink a drink with a
Exactly.
mask on. And yeah, and it's just the whole thing is just dumb, and it irks me.
So good for Dr. Irvin Yin. You've got my vote.
Yeah.
Just because you're a doctor.
Yeah. And as of now, we have not seen any Democrats saying that they're going to run for office. As we all know, in Oklahoma,
Surprised?
Democrats don't do very well. So I'm sure, of course, he will have a challenger, but who it is will be remain to be seen.
Remain to be seen.
And history has been made again. We can't
Here
make
it
it another
is.
week without
history being
without
made.
history being made.
You did say that last week, and here we are again.
Yes. So for the first time in history, a president has been impeached twice. President Trump was impeached on charges of incitement of insurrection following the riots at the Capitol. The motion passed 232 to 197, with 4 members not voting. 10 Republican congresspeople voted to impeach President Trump, making this the most bipartisan impeachment in presidential history.
Nice.
Or I guess in United States history. So this is now the 4th impeachment that we've had, Andrew Johnson, and then Clinton, and now Trump. So we've lived through three of the four impeachments. And
2 of the impeachments came within like what, a year?
Almost a year exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came within a year apart. So
yeah,
that is just crazy. So here we are.
Yeah.
The Senate is yet to vote, but they will likely begin that process this week.
Right.
So maybe we have another another thing to talk about historic wise next week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we will, because Biden's inauguration, which we're going to talk about later, that's on Wednesday. And then I'm going to already predict that it's going to be a shit show because of all of the insurrectionists that have vowed that this is not over yet, which we're going to talk about here in a second. But I am going to go ahead and predict that the Senate will not confirm to convict Donald Trump. It won't happen.
You don't think it'll happen?
If you're rich and powerful, you can get away with anything.
You can just get away with all the things.
Right.
I don't know do you have this on here about Trump though too? There's been a lot. The New York City pulled out all of their things with Trump, so he lost like $21 million on that. There's a lot of people are saying no more Trump in their cities, and so that is interesting because typically that doesn't happen. Somebody does something bad and they normally get more money, but it turns out this time around they're taking money away from him.
Right.
So the National Guard deployed to D.C. ahead of Biden's inauguration. So according to Associated Press, 21,000 National Guards people have been authorized to be deployed to Washington, D.C. ahead of Biden's inauguration. This deployment comes out of fears of armed far-right individuals planning to try and disrupt the ceremonies. There are already over 7,000 Guard people at the Capitol. And I don't know if you saw the pictures, but they are like sleeping there.
Right. And then my one of my really good friends and producer of the show, Alan, he moved from here to DC, and he went on a run the other day, and he just said the National Guards people were everywhere.
Really?
And is that not just sad? Like what this says?
It's like dystopian.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
It's dystopian. Like it reminds me of like Divergent
Good catch.
or even the Hunger Games. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Where you have to go to a major city and it's just like guards people everywhere. I mean, it's not even just police. It's like the actual military, which is so weird.
Right.
Especially in America.
Right. It is weird. And then I was also listening to the Saturday's edition of PBS NewsHour, and there was the president of the Anti-Defamation League, which is a group that helps out fighting racism and anti-Semitism. So what happened was they did an analysis of like how people like in ISIS and Al-Qaeda are recruited, and it's really similar to how like QAnon and these far right people are recruited because ISIS was really big on social media. They're turning everyday people, like they were saying that there was a CEO of a marketing company at the riots. There was like a few teachers, policemen, firefighters, like regular people in our communities are being radicalized to go say, hey, go march on the Capitol, bring your weapons. Like that one person had 500 rounds of ammunition in his car, and gee, what was he going to use that for? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out.
Right.
But it's just weird how we're almost seeing like this is starting to become a normal thing in the United States.
And it's very odd because you see this stuff in other countries. This is not what you see here. And so I think that's also why it's kind of been blown up on the news. Every news station is talking about the far right, like radicalists, because they are. I mean, we've always had far right crazies, right?
Right.
And sometimes you have far left crazies, right?
There's crazies everywhere.
But not in the amount of crazies that they like made a militia and like did what they did, right?
Right.
And
Al-Qaeda.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of crazy to live through this, I think, because it's just like, this is America. What are we doing? And how did we get here?
This is 100% going to be taught in history classes for people who like our age having kids and then like their grandkids. Like this is going to be like one day we're going to like, some younger relative is going to come to our house and say, what was 2020 and 2021 like? And
and we're gonna be like, take a seat.
Yeah, take a seat. In 2016, this gorilla was shot. What? No. In 2016, this gorilla was shot.
And that's where it started.
And that's where it started. Yeah. Harambe's like, look, kid, I don't have much time.
But it won't be in the Oklahoma textbooks for like 10 years because Oklahoma education, you don't get updates.
President Bush is probably still president.
I also saw the meme about that, and it was like me sitting in the back of my son's class making sure they teach them right.
Oh, right.
I was like, that's accurate.
I saw another really good one. Do you remember whenever the insurrectionists or the rioters, whatever you want to call them, whenever they tried climbing the wall of the like the rotunda or whatever? Yeah. They put Donkey Kong, like the retro arcade game, throwing the barrels, but it said Honky Kong.
Honky Kong
on it, because it was all of these like, oh my gosh. But I think PBS NewsHour also said that like 214 of the rioters have already been caught and arrested.
Yeah, and I support that 100%. They all should be caught, arrested.
Yeah.
They should pay lots of money. They should spend time in jail. Because what? Like, you don't do that, okay? And I don't know. I want a scientist to study these people's brains.
Right.
Like, at what point were they like, this is a good idea? And then they did it.
Yeah, but
I guess I don't understand how you become a follower to that extent, right?
Right.
Like, I understand that you love Trump, okay? That's fine. Or, I'm trying to think of something I love.
You love Disney.
I love Disney.
But if Disney's not going to go around if Disney's going to start going around and being racist and telling people to commit violence, you're probably not going to like him as much.
So at that point, I'm not going to like a Disney at all, right? And so I'm curious to know where the disconnect is. Like, is there something in their brains that they're like, this is the right thing to do?
Right.
Like, do they believe that?
I don't know, because like if Bernie Sanders told me to like take my torches to Walmart because they're not paying their employees adequately, I'm not gonna burn down a Walmart.
I would literally not go and burn down the Walmart.
No, I mean I will.
Maybe
of course, send them a nasty email.
Maybe I go to resource.
Right, something like that, or something like that, or just saying, hey, at Walmart, why don't you pay your workers fairly?
What are
Bernie
you doing, bro?
By. Like that's fine, but I'm not gonna go like throw a like Molotov cocktail.
I'm not gonna climb the walls.
Show up and like zip tie the manager's hands together because of course the manager has nothing to do with it. He's just a pawn in the system.
He also doesn't get paid very well.
Oh, sorry, they're just a pawn in the system.
Yes.
Yeah. And the whole thing is just sad. And I am excited to see the inevitable like sociological study that this is gonna of course involve.
Well, because it's so curious to me because, too, and then we can move on. Because I also don't understand the whole rigged election thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because President Trump, he fought that. Like, he was like, this is wrong, so I'm going to sue. And then the court came back and said, there's no proof.
Right.
Every time. Like 25 times.
And a lot of these people were Trump appointed, too.
Exactly.
Like the
a lot
judges.
of them are Republican judges.
Or like the Georgia Secretary of State. Dude's a Republican. Do I agree with him on a lot of things? Probably not. But if he's saying
if he said it was okay, everything was fine.
Right.
Then, like, I don't understand how everybody else who was like, this is a rigged election, and how
think
It's all about because they just are just following. They're just following and following and following, and they just do not see that it's not a rigged election. 2016 was proven to be a rigged election.
Yeah.
That was proven.
Right.
That was Russian intelligence, everyone.
Yes.
Like, we have proof for that. 2020, there's no proof.
Yeah, they actually said that this is one of the safest elections that we've had on record, which
Yeah.
is totally...
So he's just mad about mail-in votes, but that's what happens when you allow people to vote.
Well, right. But
when
also,
people get the chance to vote.
But also, if you remember correctly, Homeboy was saying that, don't use the mail-in ballots because there's a lot of fraud. So if you're telling your people to not use mail-in ballots, what are they probably not going to do?
Mail in their
Use
ballot.
Mail-in ballots.
Clearly.
So you put 2 and 2 together. Like if Bernie Sanders said, Hey, Steven, don't go shopping at Target. Shop at Aldi instead. Because they have better business practices. I'll go shop at Aldi.
Right.
You know, because if it's at the discretion of somebody that I admire, you're going to naturally listen to them.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. The whole
So he
thing's
really
weird.
shot himself in the foot with it.
He really did.
And then he wants to blame.
We're going to be talking about this for
He
a
wants
very
to
long
blame,
time.
like
in histories. Like, this is just such a wacky period of time.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
going to hear about it forever. And I'm excited to one day look back and be like, yeah, listen. Go to episodes 90 to 106 and you'll
Right.
learn a lot of things about what actually happened in life. And what we were like.
Right.
That is one good use of the internet is we can go back one day and be like, hey grandkid, listen to this podcast that I did.
Grandkid.
And listen to this episode and you'll see the kind of massacre it was.
Yeah, I mean, it was just literally one historical event after another, and it's just been bad. So
Remember when he became friends with North Korea?
yeah, Kim Jong-un.
Can we remember that?
Yeah, that was like our 5th or 6th episode, and we were actually saying that was a good idea, but that was back before.
Because it was good at first,
Right.
and then it went way downhill,
Exactly.
as per
Oh, man.
most of the things, I guess.
Again, Harambe got killed. Harambe got murdered.
Harambe got murdered.
And then all of this started happening. So moving on, again, yeah, there's going to be tens of thousands of National Guards people have been authorized to be at the Capitol. Additionally, Airbnb has canceled all reservations in the DC metro area to try and increase security measures. So they're not even, because, again, these insurrectionists and rioters, they were just normal, like they could have been me or you, or they could have been, like our parents or some just normal everyday
They were just normal people that just freaking went and did the things.
Right. So, I mean, if they're having this to restrict it, that just shows how dangerous of a movement it is.
But good for Airbnb. I mean, DC is a very poppin' place, and
It's a cool place to vacation.
It's a cool
too.
place to
Yeah.
vacation, and so I commend Airbnb's CEO for this decision. I'm very happy about that.
Absolutely.
Some CEOs would not care.
No, absolutely not.
President-elect Biden doesn't seem to be worried about his safety, as he and both Vice President-elect Harris appear to be excited about the upcoming week, which is very true. I mean, I've seen him multiple times, and he's like, I'm going to be there. I'm going to do my thing.
Yeah.
President Trump's not going to be there.
No,
he's
leaving that morning.
The first time in 110 years that a president hasn't come to the next president's inauguration.
It's just a sign of sore losership.
He's literally a baby.
Yeah, and I mean, it sucks. Losing sucks. I've lost, quite a few times.
Right, but this is the epitome, Stephen, of he's always had everything.
Right.
And when he lost,
Mhm.
it's like the first time he has ever lost before.
Right.
As 78, how old is he? Effing
For
old.
Something like that. Not as old as Joe Biden, but not by a lot.
But not by a lot. So it's just the first time he's lost. And you
Mm-hmm.
can for sure tell that he is a sore loser.
Oh,
and it is
100%.
embarrassing.
Yeah. And
I mean, because I bet both Bushes will be there.
well,
Oh
I'm
shit.
about to say, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
one Bush will be there.
Yeah.
Obama will be there. Maybe your boy will be there.
Who? Jimmy Carter?
Yeah,
No, he won't.
he won't be there.
Well, which we're going to talk about here in a second.
Oh,
so that's
he won't be there.
actually a good segue. So President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris will become president and vice president on Wednesday, January 20th. So here in 2 days, we will have a new president. So we'll kind of skip ahead. But Presidents Clinton, Bush, and Obama will attend the inauguration. President Carter won't attend due to health concerns because he is 96.
He is 96. I forgot that he is really actually old.
Right. Yeah, he's 96. Because I remember whenever I met President Carter, but that was before even the pandemic happened. And like I couldn't shake his hand. I couldn't like fist bump him.
No,
Not that I would fist bump a president, but it was just like one of those things. Like I had to be a few
Away.
feet away from him. Well, because he's an older man, and that just makes sense.
Yeah, and you know what's cool is he's 96 years old, and he still wrote a letter about the Capitol. He was like,
Mhm.
me and Mrs. Carter
Yeah.
do not condemn this.
Right, and that's the whole thing too, is that we've just had a really poor sign of leadership the past 4 years. And there have been times where we've said Trump has done some good things, because while he has for sure struck out in terms of his legacy,
Yeah.
he
really ended
did,
it bad.
he did hit a few singles and doubles, not a lot, but there were some good things to come out of this, but by and large, no.
Mostly it was negative, I would say.
I'd say 80 to 85 to 95% negative.
I would like to say, I wanted to put this on here, but I didn't have time. But let's transition. Speaking of President Trump, being a sore loser, so he's booted off of every social media now.
Right, even Pinterest.
So he's now been blocked from Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Pinterest, Instagram, which Facebook owns Instagram. So he literally can't post anywhere. And I think it brings up a good topic, which we might need to talk about for a bonus episode, but maybe we just talk a little bit about it here,
Okay.
is big tech and controlling freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Do we think that... I think it's great that they blocked him. Like, I'm like, yes, because here's the thing is, they just didn't block President Trump. They
Right.
block anybody who is racist, sexist, homophobic, like
Incites violence.
Yeah, incites violence.
Right.
Jack Dorsey, who's the CEO of Twitter,
Mhm.
clearly has stated, like, this is what Twitter is, and if you don't go by the rules, then you get booted. And
Right.
so, Eric Trump and not Melania, but his freaking other 25 kids that he has,
Yeah.
have been throwing fits on there, and I'm like, he deserves it though.
Right. Yeah, and see that it's kind of
But then they bring up the freedom of speech thing.
right. It's a gray area. It's
And
a
I'm
gray
like-
area for sure.
I'm like, you have freedom of speech when you are out in the open.
Right. Nobody's saying that he can't just go get a bullhorn and walk outside the street and say,
Right.
"Hello, this is President Donald Trump." Blah blah blah. Like nobody's gonna stop him for doing that.
But if he's using someone else's platform to do that, then I feel like Twitter and Facebook and all of those guys, they have complete control over who can say what.
Right. Maybe not necessarily who can say what. I think I know what you're saying, but what I'm saying is of course, Twitter can't tell us what to say, but if we break the rules, we
Right.
break the rules.
Correct.
Like if the Stevia show goes on Twitter and says, "Hey, everybody meet at the BOK at this date, and we're gonna,
Right.
rough up some shit," like the hoodlums that we are,
Yeah, the
we're
hoodlums.
the hoodlums that we are, we would probably get suspended, and rightfully so, because we can't, we can't be using our platform to say, "Hey, let's go commit acts of violence."
Yeah.
you know?
So that's what I'm saying is
Excuse me.
I don't think, Twitter can't be like, you go say this. It's like, don't say this, right? It's
Right.
like, you can say what you want until you cross this line.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, we're on Spotify. So if we sat here and we were like a pro riot podcast,
Right.
Spotify has the right to delete us.
Right. Which we are
Okay.
not. Very clearly, we are not
We
a
are
pro
not.
podcast.
But that's the thing is all these people, are mad at big tech and they're like, I'm deleting my Facebook because freedom of speech. And I'm like, but you signed the contract,
Right. The terms of service.
the terms of service, which you probably didn't read, by the way.
Oh, nobody reads it.
But
didn't.
in
Right.
that, it says you cannot, enact violence, no racism, sexism.
Mhm.
And now they started doing the false claims thing,
Right.
which I love. I love the false claims alert. I'm like, oh, you liar.
Right. I think that would be a good bonus episode is
Yeah.
how far do things go? Because obviously you can't yell bomb on an airplane, you can't say fire in a theater unless
Right.
those things are actually present. Then that's you're causing hysteria.
Right.
Right. And that's not good for the good of the people.
So I think it might be a good bonus episode because I
Yeah.
think we could talk about it for a while because there's pros and cons and lots of intertwined webs
Ooh,
of rules.
You know who we should ask to either be on or help us with that
Who?
episode? Randall.
We should.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
I do love Randall.
Yeah, Randall's a good dude.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he-
And we haven't seen him in a while.
No, we haven't.
Okay.
I'll talk to him.
Talk to him.
I will. Yeah.
So it's interesting. After Trump got booted and scooted, you see a lot of old people saying, I'm getting off of this platform.
Not a lot of people our age.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, you know, the older crowd.
Right. And
Not
then
even my parents. It's like older than my parents.
it's like our grandparents' age.
Yeah.
Right. And then finally, one more thing about the inauguration is that Lady Gaga will be performing the national anthem at the inauguration.
love that.
Which will be really cool.
I love Lady Gaga.
So we're stoked for that.
I wonder what she's gonna wear.
Probably something, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Would be my guess. And
Something
then,
patriotic.
right. And then some good news. I just had this really quick. The National Rifle Association or the NRA, files for bankruptcy. And I'm just going to say good riddance and thoughts and prayers, because that's all you all did whenever, you enabled
Every
Sandy
school.
Hook and all of that. Yeah. Thoughts and prayers to you.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Moving on.
NRA.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers, NRA. Yeah. It's just.
I did see, this is what's about to come out of my mouth is very sad. But
Oh.
I did see a tweet after they announced that they're bankrupt. They said, yeah, you're bankrupt because no schools have been.
Right. Which is possibly a little bit true.
I mean, more than likely.
Well, because that's the thing is, like, the NRA, like, I am all for if you want to have a gun, fine, have a gun. I don't care. But if you want to have a gun that's capable through blowing a hole through an elephant or having, like, max capacity.
Yeah, why do you need that?
You don't need that. You're either A, a terrible shot, or B, a bad person.
Yeah.
Or some mix of the two.
Yeah, the only reason you would need something like that is to kill something.
Right.
Like, why?
Right. I mean, your every man's rifle isn't for home defense. That's not going to be capable of shooting up a theater or a
And
school.
that brings me back to the Constitution.
Yes.
Because I love the Constitution. That's what America is based off of. But the Constitution also was made in 1776.
Right.
So, like, the right to bear arms back then was like your Mosin bolt-action rifle
Right.
that took 55 minutes to reload.
Right, or like a black powder rifle
You
where you had to swab it out and
Yeah.
then pour the black powder in and then do that again.
And then it was like,
put the lead
boom,
ball-
boom. And then it was like, you missed.
Right.
Let
Like,
me
if-
go
if-
again.
If I were to shoot you with the lead ball from here, you probably wouldn't die.
Yeah, I wouldn't die.
I mean, it would
I would hurt.
It would hurt like a son of a bitch.
And
it
I'd
would
probably have
go-
lead poisoning.
Right, but with today's medical technology,
It'd be fine.
I mean, please don't shoot me with a lead bullet, but I would
No.
imagine you'd be okay.
So I just
Or a musket
so
ball.
that is one that I get. It's a little my personal thing is I get a little iffy on it because I'm like, yes, I think that you should be able to own a gun. That's fine, but also I don't believe. I think that there should be a rule on what kind of gun you're owning.
Well, right, and the Constitution doesn't say, oh, you can have whatever gun you want. It just says you can have guns.
You can have a gun. Yeah.
Right, and of course, like back in 1776, they weren't thinking that you can have literally a killing machine.
In
that-
1776.
where you can kill like
Yeah.
30 people in 5 minutes.
Right.
Like that didn't
Faster
exist.
than that.
Like I guarantee you, if you went back to the Revolutionary War and if we just had one tank,
We'd win.
We could beat both sides.
Easy.
Yeah, just blow through.
We
'em.
just walk in and that's all they need.
Right, because they'd shit their pants seeing a tank because they
They'd
wouldn't
be
know.
like, "What the f- is
And
this?
it's like you caused this.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah.
This is why we're here."
Damn it, Ben Franklin! You see what you did? But
Yeah. Freaking yeah. So I do wish people, and normally it's the uneducated, I will say. I'm going to just say that out loud. Normally it's the uneducated that act like that. Like they don't understand. Like they're like, yeah, it's in the Constitution, but it's not.
it's very base level.
Right. It's a
Right.
very base level.
That would be like if I tried telling you that I had an advanced understanding of math, and I clearly don't.
Right.
Like if I were to tell you, oh, this is right because it's a quadratic equation, I couldn't tell you what a quadratic equation is. I'd be bullshitting you.
Yep.
And just like with like armchair lawyers, I mean, like I like to say that I'm an armchair political enthusiast, which I am. I'm knowledgeable about it, but I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a Rhodes Scholar or like a curator at a museum.
Right.
I'm just Stephen English.
You're just here.
I'm just interested in it. And I
Right.
never claimed to be an expert. But then these people were like, oh, the Constitution says herp and derp. And then basically they just.
But they don't know.
They take it and run in it.
They take
Run
it
with
and
it,
run
excuse
with
me.
it. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And it's like the wrong thing to take and run with.
Right. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so to you, the National Rifle Association, thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers,
Thoughts and
NRA.
prayers. Yep.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So next up in sports, the NHL hockey is back. So
Woohoo!
I am very excited about that. The Blues have won one game and
Yay!
lost one,
Oh.
8-0, which is bad in
Oh,
hockey.
they lost 8-0. Man, they did not show up that
no,
day.
they did not. No. Yeah, that's a big time blowout. But also the NFL playoff action is continuing this this upcoming weekend and this past weekend. So the AFC, we're recording today, Sunday the 17th. These games haven't occurred yet. We have Baltimore versus Buffalo. And who do you think's going to win? Oh wait, no, that game already happened. Buffalo beat Baltimore 17-3.
Yeah, Buffalo won.
Yeah. But Cleveland versus Kansas City has not happened yet.
It has not, and I think that the Chiefs are going to win.
I think so too.
Not to say that I would not love the Browns to win, because I love a good underdog story.
This is America. That's one thing I love about this country. We love underdog
we
stories.
love underdogs.
I love underdog stories. But I mean, I have Kansas City winning.
But for my $20, Kansas City's going to win.
Would I be mad at Cleveland? Just like the Chicago Cubs when they won the World Series. I hate Chicago sports, but it was still
but
so
it was
cool
amazing.
seeing them win.
Yes.
You know, because it was
chills.
Yeah, amazing. So I think Kansas City's going to beat that one. Do you think Cleveland even has a chance?
You know, I think the way they played against the Steelers.
Oh, they killed the Steelers.
And the Steelers were ranked to like move on. And so if they bring it, I think that it maybe is close for a little bit, but you can't go against P. Mahomes.
Yeah, Patty Mahomes is just insane.
You know, if he doesn't do good the first half, he comes out and is just going to be a gunslinger. Correct.
Right.
So I think it'll be close first half, and then second half, that third quarter, Pat Mahomes is just going to come out and destroy.
Do you think Patty Mahomes is going to go down as one of the greatest of all time?
Yeah.
I mean, if he's already this good.
If he's already, you know, I think he's like, this is his third year or something, fourth year?
Yeah. And wasn't he not originally on the Chiefs?
Yeah, no, he was, but he was a backup, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Wasn't he?
Who am I they had another
Who did he get drafted to?
That's what I'm curious about.
Let's look.
Okay.
Pat Mahomes draft.
Maybe he wasn't a Chief originally, because maybe it was the previous quarterback.
No, he was a Chief.
Okay.
Kansas City Chiefs selected Pat Mahomes in the first round in the 2017 NFL Draft. The Buffalo Bills traded the 10th overall pick to the Chiefs for their first round pick.
Oh, so they could have the
Bills could have picked him, but the Chiefs was like, I need you.
But we have Josh Allen. We're
So
okay.
what is that? So 2017 he was benched.
Right. Oh, the other guy. I forgot his name, but he went to Washington football team.
Yes.
And he imploded there.
Yes.
I forget his name.
And then that's how Pat Mahomes got in.
Because he was the backup.
And then Pat Mahomes effing won the Super Bowl.
Right.
And then
he got paid.
And he got paid big time. So yeah, so I think that if it's it's going to be close first half, and then Pat Mahomes is just going to shit on them, to be honest.
I mean,
which is weird because we're going to listen to this Monday
and watch Cleveland win
and see what happens. Yeah,
that'd be crazy. I mean, of course, like Baker Mayfield, like I'm not a simp for Baker Mayfield, but you know, like
he's good though.
He's good. I'm not one of those like OU fans like, oh, Baker Mayfield, go Cleveland.
No.
I'd be happy if Baker Mayfield won. He seems like an okay guy.
Yeah,
you know?
he does donate to a lot of charities.
Right.
And he does like funny commercials.
Yeah.
But I do think Baker Mayfield is, as a player, he's good.
But I don't think as good as Pat
But
Mahomes.
I don't think he's as good as Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes is just insane.
Maybe in a few years, but the thing about it is that maybe Baker Mayfield is as good as Pat Mahomes, but he doesn't have the weapons around him that make him better.
Okay.
I mean, if you think about the Kansas City offense, it's pretty stacked.
It's pretty stacked. You're absolutely right.
So maybe in a few years when the Browns can get some good, like, fresh legs and some new guys. I mean, they do have Kareem Hunt and their other running back, which Kareem Hunt played for the Chiefs until he was a wife beater.
Which is not good.
Not good.
We are also not a wife beating podcast.
No.
Or sorry, a partner beating podcast.
Partner beating.
Because if you're a woman and you beat your husband, that is also not cool.
We don't like that either.
No, we don't.
Sorry, Matt. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we just do not condone any sort of unwarranted violence here at the Stevia show.
So we'll see, I guess. That happens later on today.
Right.
Or Sunday.
And then in the NFC, we have the Retirement Home Bowl. We have Tampa Bay versus New Orleans. That game hasn't happened yet. Austin.
I'm done, dog.
Sorry.
You're really pissing me off.
Sorry, my dog Austin, one of my dogs, Austin.
He's
Hogan's,
really cute, but he keeps licking me.
Hogan's being a good boy.
Yes, Hogan is.
Austin is not. Austin's
No.
being needy.
Austin's being really needy.
So yes, we do have the retirement home bowl, which is going to be Tampa Bay, led by the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, versus New Orleans, who has another one of the greatest, but he's also old, and Drew Brees. We both think New Orleans is going to win that one, correct?
Yeah.
But,
I think it would be interesting if New Orleans didn't win. For my $20, I picked New Orleans, but if Tampa Bay wins,
I just don't want to see Tom Brady win another damn Super Bowl. I'm so over it.
If Tom Brady takes Tampa Bay and wins this game, I mean, there's no doubt that he is the greatest of all time.
I mean, I already think there wasn't really any doubt.
No, but like, if
no,
you had doubt before and he wins this game,
right?
It's like, what the hell?
This is like whenever LeBron James came to the Cleveland Cavaliers and won a championship with them. I almost said a Super Bowl because we're talking about that. And then we also have, of course, Green Bay versus the Rams. Green Bay just ran all over them.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, they dare I say it, rammed the Rams.
Oh, rammed the Rams.
Yeah, but can we talk about how clutch Aaron Rodgers' toutouchdown play was?
Yeah,
was that the second quarter?
Second quarter. When he faked it and
right.
ran and he would.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So good. I love Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I've literally said throughout this whole podcast that if Aaron Rodgers is healthy, Green Bay is a contender.
He takes
and
it
every single time he gets injured. And I'm like, and you're sad naturally. I'm like,
I'm
Lydia,
so
I told
sad
you.
because I know there's no hope. If they don't have Aaron Rodgers, there's no hope.
Right. So, but he's been on fire.
Literally.
Right.
He looks so good.
Yeah.
And they were playing in the snow yesterday, so I'm excited. Because I think we have home field, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the other two teams were in the Super Wild Card weekend.
Yeah, Buffalo has home field and Green Bay has home field.
Right, and so does and then Kansas City and Green Bay has home field in this game too. So that'll be cool, and then we will be down to the Final Four and then the Super Bowl.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I'm excited.
Been some good football.
So good.
Most of the games have been really good.
I'm just glad that there's like the New England Patriots aren't in it, just because I was sick of seeing their name.
Right.
Even though Tom Brady is there, but it's
Right.
just funny. So that's what's big in the sports world. And then in gaming, we have Pokemon Snap, Steven. And I think we talked about this when they released it, but I still am like, is this the early 2000s? Like, what's going on? So Pokemon Snap released, you could pre-order. You can pre-order now for April 30th, I believe. And I mean, it made me a little happy inside.
Right. I mean, but we still have to go to Blockbuster to get our pictures developed. Do you remember that? Where we have to take our cartridge.
Take the cartridge.
And plug it into the Blockbuster machine, and then it would print it out.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man, those kids these
days
will
they
never
don't even know.
understand.
They will never know.
Yeah.
So I wonder, is it going to be like a multiplayer thing?
Probably not.
Like, what if you could go with your friend and go take pictures?
That would be cool.
That's what I'm saying.
And then y'all can put it on Twitter and see who has the better picture.
Yes.
Or it doesn't have to be a competition. They can just be sharing the pictures. Like, hey,
just sharing.
look
These
at
are
what
my
you and
Pokemon
I,
Snap pictures.
Our Pokemon Snaps. Yeah.
Like, that would be cool if we could play together and then like go on an adventure and take pictures of our Pokemon and then see what our pictures look like later. I don't know. They haven't really given us a lot of details on it. Just that, it's kind of like the OG, but on your Switch and probably way better.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm going to play it for sure. I think we have a few producers that have said that they said that they stop. Just sit for a minute. Goodness. That they pre-ordered it. And so I'm also going to pre-order it. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think at least two of them are. I'm also excited for Super Mario 3D World.
Yes.
I played that on the Wii U, but the whole Bowser's Fury looks amazing.
Looks so good.
Yes.
So good. And so I think that's all for our main segment today. So do we want to move on to Stevia Sound Off?
So Stevia Sound Off is a section where Team Stevia sends us questions and takes, good or bad, we don't care. And as long as they're within reason, everybody on the show will answer them. We post a weekly thread on our Instagram story and our Twitter, and we have a dedicated channel on our Discord for this section. So what's in the mailbag this week?
Mailbag, JTag asks, best 90s school lunch fruit snacks.
Ooh, I like all of them. They were all so good.
So this is what I used to do.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. My mind's about to be blown.
We used to have Gushers.
Okay.
And Fruit Roll-Ups.
Okay.
and you would unroll the fruit roll up,
Okay.
and then you would put the gushers in the fruit roll up, and
like
then
a
you would
little-
roll them up.
Like a churro almost.
Yes, it was a
Okay.
gusher fruit roll up churro.
That's really sugary.
And it was the greatest time of day when you rolled your fruit roll-ups into your gushers.
just
or
so-
you
just gonna
rolled
roll
your
up something to
gushers.
take the edge
Yeah,
off.
hey yo.
Yeah.
That's probably where it all started, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that I remember that
Okay.
to this day. So fruit roll-ups and gushers are A1 together.
Perfect. I think I would have to say fruit by the foot.
Ah.
I still love fruit by the foot, but I
Big
mean,
fruit by the
it's
foot
not as fun
fan.
now because I'm like 6 foot tall or 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
But whenever I was a kid, I was only like 4 feet tall or
Oh.
whatever, and then you get like 3 feet, you get a whole yard of
It's
fruit
almost
snack.
as large as me.
Right, like it comes up to here on me. So that's what I'm saying. Like the novelty's kind of worn off. But I think as a kid, I was most excited about the fruit roll-ups because I was like, wow, this is a lot of snack, even though it really isn't.
Yeah.
So it was magical.
It was magical.
It was.
Great question. Wow.
And
Next
then,
up.
yes, Archmaester Robinson asks, "What is your ideal weather?" Love that question.
Love that question because Steve and I are complete opposites.
Yes.
My ideal weather is hot. I like warm weather and the sun. I like all things sunny and warm. I mean, when it's 85, 90, 95, 100 degrees here, I'm like, yes,
Ah.
queen. I love it so much.
It's far too humid.
So the hotter the weather, the better. And anybody who knows me at my house, I'm fully clothed and with blankets on top of me all the time.
Mhm.
At work, I have a heater.
Right.
I need to be warm. I don't know why, but I'm always so cold.
Mm-hmm.
So my ideal weather is like sunny and 85 degrees.
Yeah. Complete opposite of mine.
Yep.
My favorite days are like 45 and rainy. I love a
Ugh.
good rainy day because I don't like being outside in the rain, but it's a good day to be inside and relax and just hearing
Watch
the
Netflix.
rain pitter pattering on the roof, and then it's too cold, so you wrap yourself up in a blanket. It's just so snuggly and nice.
So
I love
snuggly.
it. Yeah. So like 45 and rainy is what
If
I would
it's
say.
45 and rainy, I want to be at home.
Right. And
If I'm
it
at
just
work
feels
and it's
so
45 and
good.
rainy, I'm like, ugh,
I wanna
this
be
is the
asleep.
worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, complete opposite there.
And then finally, Professor J Tag asks,
What your favorite strange food combination? And his is peanut butter and tortillas.
right,
Peanut butter on tortillas.
which I mean, yes, that's weird, but I can see it being good. That's not a gross combination.
Yeah, I want to know, is the tortilla warm?
Ooh, warm peanut butter?
Yeah, so I eat peanut butter on bagel. Is that weird?
I think that's a little strange.
Is it?
I mean, I don't
Oh.
care. I don't care what you do. As
Well,
long
no,
as you're not hurting people.
I'm mainly asking favorite strange food. Like can't think of a strange food combination unless it's peanut butter on a bagel. Is that weird? I
think
don't
that's-
know.
I think that's a little strange. I mean, would I do it? No, but Abby would do it.
What about peanut butter on a banana? I eat
See,
peanut
I
butter
don't
on
th- I don't
bananas
think that's
too.
weird. Or peanut butter on apples. That's because that was
Because that's like normal,
that
right?
was like an elementary school snack.
Right.
Because like Abby, she will eat peanut butter on her waffles, and I didn't know.
I
Anybody,
eat peanut butter on waffles
See,
too.
I didn't know anybody who did that until I met her.
See, you make the waffle, put the peanut. First, you put the butter. It's a waffle, hot waffle,
Mm-hmm.
butter, peanut butter, syrup.
Yeah. See, that just doesn't ring a bell for me.
So I guess is that weird too?
I mean,
So I might have lots of strange food combinations. I just,
You
to
just like peanut
me,
butter.
don't think that it is strange food combination.
yeah, that makes sense. But like the one that I think of, for me, we talked about this earlier, was I mix salt and my ketchup together,
Yes.
which I understand. That's kind of a little weird.
Yeah, not a lot of people do that.
No, but I get that from my mom. My mom, I don't mean to put her on blast. She puts her Cheetos in ketchup.
Cheetos and ketchup?
Yeah, which
Oh,
is her
that's
thing.
her combination
Yeah,
of
that's her
strange
combination.
foods.
Yeah, I don't do that. But sorry, mom. Hate to put you on blast, but
DD English.
yeah, it's
Cheetos.
in
Are they
ketchup.
the
puffy.
puffs? Oh my, that is odd.
But see, to me, it makes more sense dipping a puffy Cheeto in something than a crunchy Cheeto. But you shouldn't be dipping your Cheeto. No,
You don't need
no,
to.
Austin.
You don't need to dip
your Cheetos in
anything in
anything.
Cheetos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cheetos in anything, right?
Yeah.
I also eat in my family. We eat peanut butter and syrup sandwiches.
Okay. Ooh, yeah. No, that's
So
for
like
sure.
you do peanut butter and then syrup and you mix it all together and then you put it on a bread and it's a sandwich. No,
Okay, that's yours.
is that?
That's yours. Cause,
Okay,
'cause-
so
'cause
I
Abby
always-
at least does the peanut butter.
So I always thought that was. I always knew that was a strange combination because it's my dad used to make it and so we would eat those for like lunches at home.
Mhm.
And then I met Matt and Matt did it too.
Really?
And I was like, oh my God, they're like Matt and my dad are like alike. Like they do similar things. And then one time we were at McDonald's and he does what my dad does, where he gets an extra lid and puts the ketchup on the lid and then does the salt and pepper with the ketchup.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
I watched Matt do that one time and I was like, I've only ever seen my dad do this. Like that's so weird. But yeah, we eat peanut butter and syrup sandwiches or peanut
Okay.
butter and honey sandwiches. Oh, so
See,
good.
that makes more sense than peanut butter and syrup sandwiches.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh,
I don't know, but
interesting.
I would say out of the 3 things you've listed, that's the strangest.
That's
one,
the strangest one?
I've never heard of that.
Really?
Yeah, no,
I'll
never
have to
heard
make
of
you
that.
a peanut
Oh,
butter
I'm sure
syrup
it's good.
sandwich.
Yeah, again, no judgment against you.
Yeah,
for
no,
that.
no, no.
But that's just like the weirdest combination I think that you've said.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other weird things. Oh, I like A1 on mashed potatoes. That's
Oh,
delicious.
really?
That's
I've never
I
thought about that.
highly recommend it if you
I normally
try it.
eat my mashed potatoes just plain, so.
Yeah, me too. But then if I have A1, if I have A1 on hand, I'll put A1 on my potatoes.
Is it because one time your A1 mixed with your
Yeah,
from your
it
steak
was an
over and you were
accident.
like, yes.
Yeah, dip it in the A1.
This is
Yeah, It's so
awesome.
good.
Yeah, I would say that's strange to
Okay.
just do. Like
Okay.
if you were just like say you were eating maybe like a chicken and mashed potatoes, do you grab the A1?
No, because I don't put A1 on chicken. I put A1 on steak
Yeah.
and mashed potatoes.
Okay, so so I will say it's not as weird if you don't just go grab the A1 out of the fridge for your mashed potatoes. But
Right.
since you have it out,
Right.
you're
It's
like,
more of a
oh, a little
convenience.
dab over here will
Right.
do.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I would be interested if they should tweet at us. You guys tweet at us your strange food combination.
Yeah.
I am kind of interested
Yeah, because that's a really good conversation. I
because
feel
it
like.
is a good conversation because you never think about what people eat at home.
Right, because that's
Like,
your
well,
private life.
Yeah,
If
like
you
I
wanna-
don't
if
ever
you wanna
think
be-
about what you're eating,
If
right?
you want to be gross, be gross. Just do it in the privacy of your own home, I guess.
Right, but is their gross like my gross is different than your gross?
Yeah, because no offense, the peanut butter and
Yeah, you probably think that's
that
gross.
It sounds gross, but I'm sure it's delicious.
Right.
It's one of those things that you have to like get past it.
And it's odd to me too that you said honey sounds better than syrup,
Because you
but
can-
it's basically the same.
No, it's not.
Honey and syrup are
no,
like the
hu-
same consistency.
consistency, but not flavor. See, to me, the flavor of peanut butter and honey goes better together than
Huh.
peanut butter and maple syrup.
It's interesting.
I don't know.
I know. Food combinations.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start asking that as like
great
my question.
Joe.
Be
Great
like,
question.
what is the one weird thing you eat?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good interview question. I like that.
Because besides that, I think I eat normal things, but who knows? Like I wouldn't know if it was normal or not because I don't.
People thought it was weird that I freeze my Pop-Tarts before I eat
That
them.
is weird.
No, it's not, but it's delicious. Haven't you had one before?
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as you thought it would be.
It was just weird.
It's not weird.
Like a
it's
frozen
good.
Pop-Tart is weird.
It's like halfway to an ice cream sandwich if you think about it.
No,
It's
not
I said
at
halfway.
all.
No, because it's that.
You're really pushing far on
No,
this
I'm
one.
not. It's whatever you want to call it. The layer. You have the layer and then the filling and then the layer, which is an ice cream sandwich. You have the 2 little graham cookies, and then you
yeah,
have
but
the
it's
in
not the
between.
same.
I said halfway to it.
I don't
No,
know.
it's not.
I don't know.
If I want to have ice cream,
But that is,
but-
I think that is a strange
That is
thing
not
that you put
strange.
your Pop Tarts
no, it's
in
not.
the.
You're making it sound like I'm some sort of like murderer or something.
No, I'm
Like-
just saying it's just a weird like. That's not. To me, that is something I never heard until you said that. Like
Weird.
until
I
you
freeze
were
my
like,
Kit
I
Kats, too.
freeze my Pop Tarts. Anything chocolate frozen, that is A1.
Yeah,
I'm okay
see,
with that.
but it's only the
Reese's
frozen Pop-Tarts
Reese's
that you
Pieces,
do.
Reese's Pieces, Reese's
Yeah.
Reese's. What are they called? Reese's
Yeah.
in the freezer. Great.
Right, but I only put the chocolate flavored Pop Tarts in the freezer. I don't put the strawberry flavored Pop Tarts in the freezer. Those
Okay,
get
see?
eaten regular.
You never told me that.
Oh well, so now we've learned.
This is me. Every Pop Tart goes in the freezer. Blueberry, strawberry, any like cinnamon, like the cinnamon
Ugh,
ones.
I
Like
don't
if you
even
put
like
the
that one.
cinnamon,
No, because see, I mostly
Okay,
get the
now that
like
you
the
put the
chocolate
chocolate
fudge and the
ones-
s'mores
well,
flavor.
wouldn't you want those warm?
See, sometimes I do.
S'mores warm.
S'mores warm
is
and cold is
A1.
good. Try it cold too. It's good both ways.
I just don't like cold.
No worries. See, that's the whole thing. That's the cool thing about this question.
I'm just
Is this
interested.
is nothing you should judge people for.
No,
It's just like,
I'm not judging. I'm
No,
like,
I know, I
that's
know.
very interesting,
Right.
sir.
It is. It is.
What do I don't put anything in the freezer that wouldn't belong in the freezer.
Well, you
normally.
just said that Reese's peanut butter cups.
And I think people do that though.
No, that's normal. But you just said you don't put things in the freezer. That I'd say most people wouldn't do that. But it's not a weird thing.
I do want to know, too. Oh, man, I lost it. I can't remember. Never mind.
Okay.
It'll come back to me one day.
Yeah, probably like 3 episodes from now, you'd be like, "Oh, remember in episode 106 when
That
we
one
said-"
time.
Yeah, that one time. That's awesome. Well, I think that about does it for today,
That's
Team
it.
Stevia.
Oh.
Yeah, so we will have a new president on Wednesday. So this is the last episode that we will release with Donald Trump being in office.
Yep. Now we get to rag on Biden for
Now
all
we get
the
to rag
things
on
he
Biden.
does.
Yep, for 4 years.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. So you can follow us on all the social media platforms with the handle at The Stevia Show. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on whichever podcast app you listen to. If you're on YouTube, just search for The Stevia Show and subscribe with the notification button, and just be sure to smash that subscribe icon and smash that like button.
Make sure to check out our streams. We stream at least once a week. Stream schedules are posted on all platforms monthly and on our Instagram weekly. Anchor and Patreon producers are able to join multiplayer streams and in-game chat. We both are on Twitch, twitch.tv/STVN92, and then twitch.tv/LydWins,
Yeah,
LYDWINS.
And you're fixing to overhaul your... You're
I
fixing to
am.
overhaul your thing, right?
gonna overhaul
super
it.
stoked. You're going to have your own branding.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
It'll be
I'm
fun.
super pumped. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but that was
No.
twitch.tv/LYDWINS.
Yep, that's it.
Yep. So
Give
be
us
sure
a follow.
Yeah, for sure. Be sure to check us out. And we also have merchandise available through our links in our bio and our show notes. So whenever you visit us online, check out our link tree and click on merch. We ship nationwide as well. So if you live in Buffalo, Baltimore, Green Bay, Cleveland, Kansas City, or Washington, D.C., we will ship to you.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Thank you to the following for supporting the Stevia Show. Today's episode is brought to you by Bravado Wireless. Bravado Wireless is your go-to when it comes to all things connected. Whether it is a new phone, home internet, or smart accessories, Bravado Wireless has it all. Right now, you can get a Samsung A11, Samsung 20 FE, or iPhone 11 at half the cost. That's right, 50% off any of these phones throughout January. For more information, call your local Bravado Wireless store or head to bravadowireless.com. That is bravadowireless.com.
And we are also funded in part by community members like you. Remember, you can support us on Anchor or Patreon. I almost said Anchreon. I almost mixed it. Yeah, Anchor or Patreon for as little as 99 cents a month. Thank you. But for now, this is Steven.
And this is Lydia.
And we will see you all later.
Bye.
Bye.